Hey, what's up guys? Justin from Out of the Basement here, and today my setup looks a little bit different. If you follow our community post or are in our Discord, which by the way, if you haven't joined our Discord, link in the description below, you would have known that the cord to the Blue Yeti microphone actually broke and I could not find a replacement that same day with our local stores. Had to take a drive out to Best Buy to get a replacement cord. But the cord is actually pretty small. It's only 3 feet long, so that's why the setup is a little different. I have an extender coming in the mail, so we'll be back to normal very soon. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a question. Should the Black Series start doing animated stylized figures, or should they continue with what they're doing right now? For anyone who is new or doesn't otherwise know, the Black Series has always been about realistic portrayals of characters that have only been seen in animated series or video games, etc. The Black Series kind of prides itself for being realistic live-action figures. So for example, any characters from Star Wars Rebels, or especially Star Wars The Clone Wars, because we all know The Clone Wars has super elongated, their faces don't really scream human. It's an animation style. I mean, if you look at Count Dooku, he has like a super elongated face. Same thing with Mace Windu. Mace Windu in the Clone Wars doesn't necessarily look like Samuel L. Jackson in the prequels. And what they've done so far for animated figures is basically envision if that character was in live action, if that character existed in real life. So for example, the Star Wars Rebels crew, they all have figures, but it's as if those characters were real live action. Does that make sense? It's basically a realistic approach to the character. The example I thought of to show you is this Zeb. This is a realistic portrayal of the character of Zeb as if he existed in real life, which is why, particularly the face looks pretty different compared to his animated counterpart, specifically the bug eyes, those bug alien eyes. This is more of a realistic approach to the character of Zeb. And you could say the same for any Clone Wars figures that have come out so far. Especially a good example is Ventress. Her body dimensions in the show is very stylized. And while she's an alien, she is humanoid, so that is why her figure looks like the way it does. It's a realistic portrayal of her character, as if Asajj Ventress, her alien species, if that existed in real life. Basically means you can take that Ventress figure and take a Luke Skywalker figure and, they look good together. I know they don't, they're not from the same timeline, but they are in the same realm of realism in the Black Series. It's the same continuity. Some mild exceptions actually came recently with these clone troopers, this new style of clone trooper. We have the Kamino security clone and of course the Ahsoka clone trooper. They don't have the black line above the head like the Phase 2 and Phase 1 clones do in the film. So this is sort of an exception with this new Phase 2 clone trooper body. They are actually sort of modeled after the Clone Wars animation style, which I really do like these clones. I love the way they look. But I wanted to float the question, should they start producing animated stylized figures? Should they make exceptions to certain characters such as Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi? Those are the two that come to my mind. In Star Wars The Clone Wars, they have their general looks, their Republic general Jedi armor, which is super dope, and I hope we get both of those figures. But my question is, should those be the outfit, the accurate outfit to the Clone Wars, but with, a Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor head from their episode 3 looks, since, Obi-Wan looks pretty close, he has the whole beard and everything, but Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith has long hair. He has pretty long hair compared to how he looks in the Clone Wars. He has sort of medium length hair in the Clone Wars. And what I guess my question is just, should they make it the animated stylized figure, or should they just keep it with the, you know, the actors who actually portray them in live action, such as the Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars has the accurate look of the general outfit, but it's still with what I believe is the Hayden Christensen head from, basically modeled off of Revenge of the Sith. So should they make Clone Wars or Rebels or, you know, any other video game, animated series, what have you, should they start doing these more stylized figures to make it look, you know, exactly how it does in the show? My personal opinion, I sort of like what the Black Series has been doing so far in terms of just making realistic portrayals of the character regardless of their animation style. I think Rebels was a little easier to do in terms of, you know, Hera, Kanan, Ezra. I think their CGI animation looks pretty similar to how the figures turned out, and I mean I think that just makes sense for those characters. But Clone Wars, the animation is a lot more exaggerated. I had already mentioned earlier with like Count Dooku and how elongated his face is. Would you guys be down for a Dooku like that, or should we just stick with the Christopher Lee Count Dooku? So this is almost like a survey to you guys, because I'm super curious to see what the general fans out there think about this subject. Bouncing back to my personal answer, yeah, I think I just like the realistic portrayal of the characters, because I think Ventress can still mesh with the Christopher Lee Dooku. But if they made an animated Dooku, would that mesh with like the Hayden Christensen Anakin and the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan? I don't think it would. So I think it's just best to play it safe and keep doing what they're doing in terms of making the figures essentially live action realistic versions of the CGI character models. I think the upcoming Ventress looks absolutely amazing, and I know some people were commenting that they were not satisfied with how Ventress looked because it doesn't have her like super exaggerated like waistline and like stuff like that. But again, the Black Series has almost always focused on making realistic portrayals of the character, so I think something like that should be forgiven. This was an interesting topic. I think I'm okay with this one exception of the clone, because again, I loved the Clone Wars as well. It's my second favorite thing to come out of Star Wars after, you know, the original trilogy being my first favorite thing from Star Wars. But I absolutely love the Clone Wars, and I think for the clones specifically, I just really enjoy the helmet specifically being based off of the animated style. So in a way, these clones are a little bit stylized already. I want to say it's one of the only exceptions in the Black Series that we have seen so far. I'm looking up at my collection here. I don't know specifically about the body, but I do know that helmet is pretty much the Clone Wars helmet style, because it's missing that black line and just the face details and everything look like Clone Wars. So I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. Do you guys think they should start doing stylized figures for animated characters, such as like if they made an Anakin and Obi-Wan in their General Jedi Republic armor from the Clone Wars? Do you guys think they should just do the Clone Wars body from the head down and do an Ewan McGregor bearded, you know, Revenge of the Sith face? Same thing with Hayden for Anakin. Or should they give us a little bit of a curveball and throw us a animated look for Anakin and Obi-Wan? I think I'd be satisfied with either. Just for these two characters, Anakin and Obi-Wan, I feel like it would be kind of cool to get their animated looks. I'm gonna say just play it safe and do the Hayden and Ewan McGregor heads and not the CGI animated stylized heads. I think they should just play it safe in that aspect, because the rest of the Black Series are live action characters in action figure form. But let me know. I am just super curious on this topic. There have been a lot of people commenting about it lately, especially since we've been getting more Clone Wars figures. Whatever you guys' thoughts about this are, let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and like and subscribe. If you have any small topic suggestions like this, I really like making these small topic videos. If you have any suggestions for small topics, go ahead and let me know that as well, and we'll most likely get to filming them. I've been Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys in the next video.